This is Wontumi TV. Truth and integrity.
Yama we be akwa family body TV so na the thing say for first time and now I subscribe it now I like your video no just comment at the comment section more e dey mai na NPP report bi abetodwa efa kwan mo fa so mo lose election yese osafo mafo e dey ni mo ye report bi na report ni che say was say every card bearing member be yetimi to obane oyi ni PC before general election o manye that means say executives are never dada and no more CCA. None of them is capable of leading the NPP in 2028. It's woman to me, I'm not dealing on him panswa fire. Wontumi TV so penny beshe and ya secretary. Abusa Yoko TV.
Also mean share whether tribe and religion had any impact. NFA
Dr. Bamiyan seen as a shadow.
Okay.
Seen as a shadow of
Another Okay, that's that. Okay, all right. Now, if you mean your party structures,
yeah.
Oh, last week, na your report is so him say nanka ehishemuno.
Can you say babonting?
Then you can say babonting.
Enaba.
Na emphasudie bebrebe. Every Mwaba. First is that Ashanti has led the way.
Yeah.
Now, Ashanti report no. The entire Alikia air fly more no. And
that's a more for interest.
I am telling you. When him say the major critics. The major critics. Let me single out era Wachemchi. Matissa was a say can no one see a baby BBC and Kono. And radio TV crown and had home. In other words,
I heard him.
Yeah.
In fact, I read Obi post. I will post to say Obi no trail WhatsApp and said that is what he has said. Okay. But I have not heard him.
Yes.
But I also read that Wakasa said they don't even say mu ye be say ya. Kakasa be no kan ko train.
And ko train exactly.
Emma mu ye adwuma no wi.
Exactly.
Oh no, Bakasa dada.
So no, you see about me can be bias is a extra word juma ya Yeah.
I have had a personal encounter with some constituency chairman. More come hono.
Yeah.
No more play games with you.
Yes.
No more dodgy.
Including Chapa.
And then they Murie no. And the conversation no. In fact, Omar get to come and say, Omar spend more time
with us.
With mo.
Oyeba. Ode hu nya so mekikan. Constituency chairman me no wakasa. What's the old mudru? I drew on the phone doom. Oh, yes. Constituency chairman and me and I'm Coco elected. If you just have enough. Me and I'm Coco elected. Jose.
So no, say original rapper. Of course,
yeah.
Madam for Tia say, what down for.
And to me, and I'm say, now what you say, what chairman for you now? Yeah, what I am, chairman. Oh yes. Now so who we are. The omonsa e show monum no moka.
Yeah.
Hey, na ohine ba ntimi koyi. Ana mamudu ba omia na da pa da dia. Na mkwa na makata so. Na party ni na me dom na ana se dipa. Anybody say be buy e be call. And now we started one discussion. My point, we have several calls.
Yes. Party for me interested to know what is in the report.
Well,
now the so can say,
yeah.
Almost so much. No more verify some mobile. No more catch them. No.
Yeah, no.
I'm not sure.
Catch over sir. When I put it together, no. So almost a general findings. Almost uncoherent. Constituency specific findings.
Yeah.
Because the people na okaning na o de kofra de aka na enye ye ne ye wo mo nko asoronko edie na they can trust us there come on ye no mo de na bia na the anti am flash sa way out no why never afi yen report no akwakokotwe 2020
aba
osafumafo report no
na IS classified
yes now oheba me dealing with issues because a very very brief part being a very comprehensive work but oheba mesro with your indulgence was anra my nantem because of osafumafo report na ohwe eniema bia a woman yenye jato ho ama asadia be 2024 no national executive woman na omo tiso 2021 ye deliver report which includes JB any woman want to say nobody deserve to lead the party.
Hey, the 2020 report of Osafo Mafo's committee,
yes,
the woman and the omukasa was
yeah.
The national executive sir,
yes.
No more.
I be sure woman sir.
I be sure woman sir. April
2021.
21.
He elected JFK.
JFK move by 2022
July. Now if you take
omanya ho adwuma. And no more 2 years so omanya no so ho adwuma.
Omo parents go people go no interested.
Nobody deserve.
No. Nobody.
Show up.
Nobody. Ainaba menim say another time when him bedi nkomo.
Yeah. Now, I promise me for say next week Tuesday, hopefully we will do only this.
More,
and I will play with you. Say more bantamwa.
No
have
problem.
Much time.
No problem.
We do only this. Because I know my boss in the interest a party for no.
No, my conquer about now for me can.
Great.
Me can so na age running na so. Oyinba. I ready yankoko. Me person me can die connected with party structures. So there be a mean veer off completely.
Yeah.
From baby discussion person on me a year. Page 38 Osafumafo report. Managing conflict between PCs and MMDCs. Black and white. With your permission or anybody I read. The committee dealt
Take
with
leave.
the committee dealt with accusations that executives of the party and MMDC worked against certain MPs and received several complaints from the PCs who lost. It is recommended that the party should adopt a template in assessing MPs, which should be, filled out by a constituency executive at full sitting twice a year. The National Steering Committee of the party should pay attention to the activities of MMDCs on routine basis at the local level, especially the relationship between the MMDCs and their PCs, MPs, as well as the party people. Then he continues going on and on. Yeah. Party structures in the ready way. Yeah. Because we party and at the local level no you were DCE or MCE, your party chairman and your parliamentary candidate or the member of parliament. Yeah, the guidelines abba ya trafa ho ekwan a esese ye faso na ye be manage sa tripod no to our benefits. Ye call election 2024 any year findings it is not this case, and specifically I should be able to cite offenses out. PC or MP and DCE or MCE one against chairman. He's such a lovely guy. The executives know be happy. So how do you prosecute effective campaign? A bra was as a matter of fact, the MCE in your party at that point. Meanwhile, I provide the guideline. But do you know, say, Osafo Committee say, and Kayema all card bearing members are paid up members in good standing.
That was the recommendation of the Safo Committee.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah. Yes.
Now I am coming in team with you.
Yes.
Your position sir.
Yes, and I'm emphatic with what I'm talking about.
No more report to you.
They have it.
They have.
They can't tell us.
Listen to me. Me person me catch us say, ye adwuma na ekoye no. E ho mfaso ni bi. Eni say, afedi o Safo committee report na. Na ye de a share empase no. Afedi
we na kwatwe no aba.
Ye na kwatwe no aba. It's the biggest plus. Management of the electoral.
The probability zenka. Momo anya we ya. Can national one ye be ya wie. Na nja no so ye keeping baby no so.
Na national one
say ye chairman Wontumi. Ono na so we copies. He is the chairman of the region. Or ye we copies Emma constituency bia.
Yeah, yesterday he told me about it.
Chairman enye 47 there. Ono dey say o board in.
You know so president the echo. Flag bearer the echo. Running mate the echo. National chairman they once they have received it no.
Omo nyina sakomo there. Onye. Enti we the intention is na yem pese ye sebe report no edwie kra wo mu kra na.
Me ye film.
Mrs. Ohibasi anya ne sa enti min sa ye ho yare. Listen to me. Electoral College omo a omo kokoto aba presidential candidate, parliamentary candidate, national executives near, I say steps must be taken immediately towards expanding the Electoral College. And I'm reading from page 34. So where be at?
Yeah, I have it.
Towards expanding the Electoral College for all card-bearing members of the party in good standing at each polling station to vote in future elections. There were many stories of party people demanding money on election day before going out to vote because they claimed the few who had elected the candidate in the primaries had been hugely remunerated and they must therefore be paid before they vote. To cure that, and Kenya card, Emma party members, Yamo introduce. And you say, ye kwakwakotrabana, we a card bearing member in good standing. As a Mahoquine, now trouble. Osafuma for report, page number 34. It is reinforced by page number 38.
Okay.
38, can't say a queer party, you bet me a permanent means of funding the party.
That is party financing.
Thank you very much. Party financing, page 38.
The party must begin to look at long-term financing of its activities beyond its term in government.
Yes.
The picture painted by the party's national officers about the party's long-term financing outlook is bleak.
Yes.
There is therefore the need for the party and the executive to find an ingenious way of raising enough funds for the party that could sustain the party for the next two elections. We should not discard the idea of party members paying dues regularly. The committee recommends card-bearing members to pay dues every month. Those who are current on their dues are in good standing would qualify to vote in the party's elections.
So already we party financing now connected with what friends say
expanding the Electoral College now.
Dito. I never met here. Meet me at 210%. See, I implement it, we are. And your resource will get to closer to 50%. See, and cross factor away this factor alone.
Yeah.
Could have taken us closer to 50%. If you say, baby, I will bet you. Now we are researching now constituency 1, constituency 2, constituency 3. Now you're boring.
Because the same.
If it's okay, you're wire nipano. And yes, will be the same thing. Now say, wait the ho. Na ebedi enya ni atna ho amfie nan. Na amana no I said yeah deep
I'm yakutum
identity into what my own sorry party structures again. I've dealt with MMDC's new way saying confusion in respect of the working relationship of the leaders of the constituencies in the region. I mean, it's a region for in your 11% of the constituency leaders, chairman, MP, not the town hall meeting. In the case of jobbing, some respondents pointed out that the fractious relationship among the MP, chairman, MCE made it impossible to relate harmoniously and in the spirit of unity of purpose to champion the good cause of NPP in the constituency. Of course, regions also. Chairman and Namfa, na homoma can also, you know, and Namfa. So indeed, we had challenges, you know, of party unity.
For want of time, I remember 2 minutes on Baumia, a shadow of Nanado.
It's a whole lecture. It is a whole lecture. If we say, so we Nanado, etna hwa, esi hwa. Enyama bebrebe ene fa no ho. Emma enipa bi ebufuye. Bako eye ne kasa. Kwabri East for Ashanti region.
Yeah.
A typical example. The Tosubi, you know, a reshuffle. One year. And reshuffle in Yunano, the beer naman for a catcher
finance minister.
A finance minister there. I say the Tosubi say, the corruption and as a catastrophe, the project at 2 biswa. Is a senko better state institution no ayo mo hwehwe mu ayi bibia na de o mbeka bia o maka no se be mprediasa ahobrase mu na ordinary no abede ababa betum sisi the other park case for example was cited frequently by respondents at HSA say na by any corruptor. It was part of the perceptions of corruption. Okay. I say Ashanti development and so Mamponsi here was yes me ama kwan me bibia kama but Ashanti region there and no one the royal city of Kumasi. So why your interchange is Mako 5 na Ashanti region Swami there you free on 5% 10% completer. And what I'm saying here is that a catalog of issues around the president, introduction of certain taxes, e-levy especially, Baumia was against it. Yeah. Betting tax, no, when him says excuse me, Nanka ain't head down hand for papa, but 10% was the emphasis.
Yeah,
no more worries about 10%. And when him Okasan Yema was saying in a boomwa.
The whole Tanzano.
Yeah, the whole Tanzano. He is seen to be fine gentleman. But the bar boss no 7 previous on any fearful omo never show chi or about the sana tia dia any about menya den men konkoto.
Okay,
on the matter of religion and tribe 98% omo enu omo di nkomo o ha munchimu aduakono nwotwe esi I didn't na me koto aba
na me ko hebe busuakuo
na me kwakwohwe nipa ne suma wo mu na ene de we de
enfa ho
eba ne tribe no 95% tina statistics no hia so we de nemom mate se otumfo say to is friend saying Mr. John Mahama, the president at the resolving Kusasi Mampusi conflict in Ashanensa. Anything that can be done, because a 100-year research in whom say it is and yes a canin was on to Obama ceremony.
Yeah.
Name is Simfona Casa Ono and so a idea.
Yo, when you
it's interesting revelations.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah, now report no research no. Sometimes yeah purpose e dey nyina na say yeah dey aye homadro. But say yeah dey any foforo he report na research no. As I say the main objectives are ma yekoye as adwumadi no. But taya e dey see horse yekoye no. Na ye nyina ye hu ekwan foforo e be fa so. Se ne be ye neme bi ye ya anku ye be sesa no. But say koba say yes e bi dey ani be hwe say obi interest first ya defeat the purpose why they there ekoye yen two say bia ye feel say ye dey blame obi sa sumesia na obentia at the same time no e be say defeat the purpose why ye dey koye ye e be say ukwa nipa no amototo omo no do omo nim e na omo ka ndi say nya hu ni nyina awie na ye bo ne tofam ne betena se ne ebu nkompo hwehwem ne hu so ha nkoyie aha o se ye ne se ya eno na betima ma ye nyina ye hu aduro say yes akokon bia na yakwa with a divided front wa emwa enu ntina mempese report bia bia no you be taken as a biased form of a report say bia yabu bidin ya yesinti the initial stage in the crowd I came for the first time I to abenu na make as mempese ye bebo edin ye be appointee accusing fingers yes it deepens the crack in the party because we bia wo mu bia no sabe we free more do how baba at this time no ye bia ne say key areas ye fizi ye hu adure be ye na betimi aboa na nsesa aba party no no say ye hu adwuma because then na menu ensha kike we for report no the issues no were multifaceted by big kakrawum communicators kakrawum development kakrawum corruption kakrawum party executives hu wom ti ni nyina no no say ye hwe na ye wie na say ya nye hu adwuma na ye jato hosa nesa ko nesa ba betuye ya ena ayro we hear report we read from 2021 ya so ye to ye boase na areas bia ne womu na ye fisi ye wo control so ye ni manimu ayi betimi aye no na so ye sometimes ne ba economy ne on sensem a you don't have so much control but the internal aspect na ye party for betimi aye hu aduro dia wo se yetimi ye hu aduro ana me boy ne ba because they say ye to we obi ani be bi inflation bedu as at the time we beto aba obi ani baby unemployment bedroom infrastructure nem ne ade no so the indigenous and exogenous issues we no the internal ye wo control ne say ye beti ho asese party no ye ni ye de akopetumi na tumi ni ba na se ye nyina na ebenya ho mfaso a yetime nya ho mfaso na no ye ko ba bi ne ye di nkoma na obi kase o me the candidate we na mpe obi say media ne nka men santo na mka chenso wo hu say spontaneously as abewo we need to move away from that kind of perception say a new candidate we are meant to aban then no akwasi konu ojira nkon na mbuza ne se bema ntinkenne me akom kra na nka me ye president na nka me di party ne nim na nka ye wo abema nka wompa na what you into that kind of sentiment say anye we di amenye we eno na ama ye nyina ya bofom because me die me dey believe in the larger interest of the party senkenne ye wa bemu a kidin bi o hanke ye bon na nka bi anka mesre kankrofobia sabi omo akonya tumi a ofi se candidate no die ni mu mpani nti omo so nyaana ni nyina ahwere no eno nyina ayo hawo oni spontaneous was en comment na mzo see ye hu adu ka kire ye se candidate ama na so candidate no so eba na obi so oto a yes an konko gira ba bi ejina na but you need to move away from that kind of
absolutely
ideas ya obi say enye we ya the here ne say yes NPP awini presidential awini majority that's all when you do be cool me normally it doesn't worry me so much because you dey ya so he be nyakura na se party ne wo a na wo menti me ma wanim direct e form on menya bibia di because enye obi a ne betima ko president ho me ba na wo de kwakwa issues yi ye mfato ho se even kwakwa se bi wo wai wa ye dwuma obi anim no but the bikura na bibia ko president ho no entimi ntwa na zo nya ho mfaso e fomfo no na be sa recommend am ya pe bibia ma ho ne ye hu aduru se drusi ye mfa de em no hini ba ma ye nkoyi ne ntontwene se hini ba de wanya me nipanti me mfa de ne ma no eno na di sa disunity ne sa ye dem eban you see ye bia ye be nya nipa politics is about the numbers and do also ya de na wo de apewo de na asuma sidi woni mafa ye internal elections wa anye campaign ma minti ade ba me ma no a then we are not going to achieve what we want to achieve. Because we are the nipa baako pe ne be the president. We are the Akoko constituency baako be a MP no and a PC baako pe ne be ba ho. Ye wie ene ayetu ha ye nuanom nkwala bia se bia mu fa nche meka nkwala mranti ne mabunu ya ye mamu adwuma bi kura bu fu se manya adwuma nso so me bransa na menya metua sika ne menya ye se mu mrafie sabrin kaye ne yo hanka wo mafie enti we mu nyina ye lessons ya ye koye ne wo se sua de efiri mo hene ba me de me ba wi as de bia me ka kire nkrofo se menya nipa se ade si a enye ubi enye ntie ye me no I don't have that kind of mindset because when be nya one day let my friends when be send memo to this am watch ne ye koye ni the more you stay in government no nkwala no ene mabunu be nya more opportunities no say oh free ye campaign tia me ntia ne ma sadline ne nkrofo nyina won so nipa. That is what I've always coined as political sociometry. To me, the stress report ye be digest na AUS no ye work control, especially the internal ones no dear. And they were one say we nam ha we be kura me de me mfa no ntimi yadwuma ama we nkwa me yadwuma ma we ene the dame catch us say emwe ya omdo mnsa kwa share to emu ya obi a de ne say kuguru mu akoyi bi ato ade boma ade ewu nyina hwegu no obi anya ho mfaso sabre nke wa bem na NPP wo ha kan yema esisi nkanya nsi yete ha yes aka ho asem but more important your position. This is the time we see a resource to the communicators. So you say Germany ye din wo take advantage of the airwaves there. Ya say yasem. Wo mu nya opposition. Media no na eboa wo mu
ye wo power put a day
because we hear was about 78%. I believe we say communication no
from. Don't catch ya. Right.
Obi na bona say so boyo Kasungu la nga Kasungu ngora
ni do it here
report no e bi be ko be dia me national executive no away bus it is away bus dey bi onye general manager na me boni dio.
But for what is in the 2020 report,
it
was left unattended to. Me say nipa ni bibenya the moral attitude say they want to leave the party again.
No, muso bo banana wo.
All the women number to you. You only have to explain the issues.
Take your
for the party people to understand it well.
Exactly.
And then know them.
Take your time and read.
Yes. Because you see, I'm having a problem.
Because and it's because I a call from NTV when I was reading their report. I was able to connect quickly.
Problem I want to say party I were a lot of educated people in the party, and we don't make use of
them,
the research teams and proper research. As a party, you have research and party in governance, a party before even you develop your strategy, you should have known all. It is a party, no research.
Every year,
yes.
Me fasten free one, fancy money. Me call report no. 2020 report or Safma for the report. Namakadia Tos.
Bring it.
Okay.
Yes.
Page 36 of the report. Big heading. A well-resourced and permanent director of research. Now, about region.
Then to
well-resourced, number one.
Permanent.
Oko conditions here. Well-resourced and permanent. Research. You move to page 40. The page 40 reinforces the concept of research to be permanent.
You see? These things.
If it's a Nike new one, can go TV but importantly, Osafuma for no dear no edge that will say, and Kayano Momu be feed quickly to party no Munshishaya moye government no ekwan obefa so a obe respond to sane manema said ye be ye from na good amount.
Deputy Minister of Finance na vetting no 24 economy it's still in the pipeline. They will use technology to bring in revenue. The question said Umabobesia 40 billion 38 to 40 billion Ghana cedis in this few weeks, no. And so I send you no credit, but but say the figures were not coming forth. I'm for say who I'm on your free.
Yeah. So basically.
Yes. I never. My main customer maintain direct.
Okay.
Na pata mitiene kitwa bi when he was trying to ask them say I said omo here na I afanyo marking no mo no I was hey afanyo the tormentor. But in particular there was the question on women's banking. No, women's bank. I want NDC manifesto. After your marking, Busana say, what kind was he? Annie? Chichi Munza. I got say 24-hour economy and I got NDC. We are dealing with Chichi. We are no back. Now, me and me has to see, me and me has to see a crowd. I look at our friend is saying, Momo proposal. And as a communicator, I've been speaking to the issues. What you say? And what I said, and let me repeat it here, is that Unya bank for women. Unya bank for women. Adia na here say ye dima ma titu the former the women's fund.
Yeah, this is muscle.
Say ye bofoto atoko edia mama. Na omubit me access fund no. Only with your Ghana card. Or Ghana card, Ghana card on kwana here so on sabe kaska be. If it's a bank dear, or a bank, or never. We are the name first word dear. Or Betty. And we are 100% under our friend is saying deposit taking institution. Savings and deposit taking institution which comes directly under the Bank of Ghana. In the certain banking regulations, bank for Nshisha be any we are will be disobey. So na objective no say such a bank and not specifically only for women they are. Then you ought to have gone for their development fund. You said you will get fund, you will road fund, investment fund, and this is really the alternative. Na media me feel say Ghana for eto. What do you do in China? Set them Tana Club. At the over 70 to 90 million Ghana cedis. Our Maslock. You know, specifically for women. Abublushi. One more ashi, one more japadi, and one more working capital ashi. And so, and yadia more cocoa rescue, sir, am I? On the back of this, mommy, your sentencing in absentia. The dinner some I'm an abono. As what I want you with your mama several years.
On the one fugitive.
And some share more history. Na me share women's banker. Na me share that just yet. idea here pan say nanke be establish small medium enterprises bank, which say enke cover a money memengina na small SME bank, you know, emum and enke be boa o my if we say the SME sector, no, small medium enterprises sector, over 92%. Or how much you a diacono mienu a Ghana for there. 92% of all registered businesses, SMEs in this country belongs to Ghanaians. And the NGS saw do an issue be so Enzo and say in terms of manufacturing jobs, say yebema a numa titru enfidijuma and so on. SME sector contributes about 85%. 85% to all manufacturing jobs. Na afei said the omoboa ema o mine so enyini epeja esitiano. Yano so womo chefan womo or hamunchemu aduaso 70% contribution to GDP. Enti se wo se wo ye aban opese obeboa womo eye womo enkasa enwuma. You don't single out a man. Now for moon sing chain. Now kasa a man on kwana omo bank and a man kwana he say omo jedia omo di SSA to be born money. I think that it's so narrow and parochial. In so sense almost share the bigger picture, which means there's a man money there. Moko ko jibusi a chamene. Na unyuma nkoswa and the I think that so we a policy as I say ocean the emudon there's a whole deputy minister designate intimate chrim say Nana Jane Opokwajimai and the key champion for Women's Bank and to support women in business, right? Let's just say finance minister designate Nedima now so what kind no dear, not just say
what kind say the cheche muswa I ask him
and the NHS and I ask him
definitely abanyi ba you oyi adwuma fompo adi and whilst what promised 24-hour economy and no you there was another question. He said is it through betima confirm me say abanyi ba within 6 weeks wa bob say I think 38 billion Ghana cedis or say bosia da abanyi bobat enuru sa say so or say figure near he's not aware to me fan so and to me and to eja akom
whenever me das mamincha Ghana for mincha
politics of deception
na mincha tie for when we tie radio num ya chew bia cha party penning for chama de share almost the chafam please district capital edrobon so but where they can na they can no anafi na epia bonti it is oba onyinsen no was onyinsen ye we dey aboso me nkro no bedu
dey maybe aso ye
am ye hu se ne atie kan ka kire Ghana for ma omo ti ase se niema omo kan bebre o campaign no mo manifesto no ye hu bi pen na wo hwe omo nya akonya besom o man no free time o papa litmus obaye ene ye papa na otie adwaso his excellency John Dramani Mahama onso so betro aso na niema bebre ne da di pefie mi hu sensem bebre obokan no omo ntimi anye den anye na de kopie mu ba ko na ye di so nkomoyi the 24-hour economy ye ba ha be catch Ghana for chire ni ntia yesusu se 24-hour economy ye be ye kra ensi achi baya e be gina so am ye timi ayesa 24-hour economy ni nya enru ho wo hwebra o nya akonya on various platforms e o mchirichiri mu a o mo de o ma de ba no bi anchire mu nko ntu enru ana nya menwanwa se oduru ho na o mo busa na ho asema wantimi anka bibia ensi ni po ne mom de da bia ya na meta kan se ne ma bebre ho a before ne Ghana for in particular we elections mo ayensu de wo every senye de SCA edin kan ni ya tete promises bebre wo fa manifestos wo fa campaign messages e bond to a dodo no a ntimi mem ba ko a yenyina edi ho adanse pefe se na na do dan kwa kufuado his excellency no we former president or born to us since 2008 no ka kire se media me ba me the free senior high school beba amahiafo nyina nya biako mobrofo timenya biako yese be ma wonsin su mansan wa ham oba ye kura na economy no yesusu se enyina brane na health insurance ufa energy sector ufa banking clean up e ka hodwa ne goa wa opportunity anko skills bia se e bia abandada na wona homodinti on to aso ogina ye na ye hwe the achievable nature of the 24-hour economy no de bia na me ta ka che me nuan mo ya chirechirefo no me no mu din koma meka say policy and say plan bia de beba bia no o say ya nkasa kra no ye subject to the smart analysis ni hu is specific measurability achievability and meka say ni relevance and any time bound on say obusa no when me anka a reporting e be sha say o say is in the pipeline ni say emfie du ne beba o say emfie mi enso say de obi anim but it was portrayed as you say you to about ya 24-hour economy no one employment situation or my no e be free hop rekope am amranti e budget so bi be kwanaju bi be kwawia he even told them says obey anaju adwuma kra o hia nyam nkania e no hene ba watimi agina so e de ayese adwuma no ba bia na yenim se bia nka bituma yentem e ya be fode no a meka se no de ye online services and kra na ye dia badada enam his excellency the former vice president Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumyansa no ye bi dada no intini so mo nchire specific areas ya za 24-hour economy no ebetimi ayadwuma because over Ghana ha ni padodo no ayekuyafo me say you cost a farm prince ya made share almost about 90% of her no mchiche mu be say duakuno a o munyina ayekuyafo intini ebusa say abja sa no ukọ ha ebe den na almost 24-hour economy no mo nya mu chefa ye kan we ni nyina ma Ghana for antiase enen say na abiduru mpempenso a ye do ma na show mo nsa afiri ade no ma bohu dawro hihye ho ntare meka say hu t-shirt nyina ye posters ne banners enyina na ne nam krum but ye wie ye di tumi na mo wa bohu dawro kire ye kwan a obefa so a obe but nanki ye ken say nanki nim say o si ne frɛ no obeto bo na ne na si bi so tini visa bi blueprint kra omode ba be ye adwuma ni nyina ya ye eda ho ni nyina no say na bibia ni ho nti we nyina edi dance prefer say sabi wo hwe research ni ma dodo enkrofo ta hwe so sabi edi trouble na ya kandifo e omo messages omo dia ba it's hard time say messages e babonti ni be subject ni to say feasibility studies that na ye no e be ye na say enyi 24-hour economy say yes ye ba na bima buso na nkwala na bi ko anopa bi kwa wi bi no mo ko anadwonem ne ade ade a industries ben na e wo hwa sa nipa no mo ko ye mo adwuma and companies do saying and aban na bia omo betime anyam akwa yi mo adwuma ama obi a otifi fi say e bia obi ko na obi so so aba na no de ba create yes passport office no ne ade ade nyina mo be kwa na adwoni awia ne ade ade all this no nyina ye ne ma obi kam also the tutunsen ye ne na hu say ebeba mu ana say ntimem eno wo de ono a ye yi ne say o ma yeso ani abidi akire e wo sika photo sample bia ho a wo hene ba ono ankasa ntimi hu send ye beba mu ne de na je say Ghana for sometimes no ye kan sem libo ha munti na de ya pa de say wo wa be na wo kan kra akire wo bi de obe kan bi obi fi say wo boa na so say table na dan ye de say ye ni bibia ye kan de ye kan say nsem wo kan ye no o munye na emrem na ye nuanom a omo wi school a sebe omo no so padwuma ne be omo nya binye at the same time so omo so a no omo dada na ye fi say bi kura nka ye sa be ma nipa dodo no bi akwanya na omo be ka ho na omo so ti menya adwuma ne be ye no kura ye yi omo adi a ya ne binim titifia di o no so ye ne abetu binim so ti wenim nyina ya de a the bia was usually sometimes mitaka na me bana me ko to ice major me dikse me can say all the democracies could be solved with the ills of democracies could be solved with more democracies just enka ya de o democracy ma bia nsimu ha ka e bi entro enni ade ya hu bi pan yes agedi and this ababa mo pe mo ba ye no ye hu mo de ma mo bebo ma o man no na NPP so e de ba beto aso a ye hwe ba bia so fi se e bitim de aka o man ho me yakoye no Ghana for si da bi 24-hour economy nti ne niema o mkeka ye betu akuyafo adwumam ewo koku mu ye hwani mu eno so obusa na no so asem makwa ebu achibidin no sabre ye ni tumi bia yɛbɛtumi de atwe ɔma na connect de aka na sɛ mfie na ɛdi anim no ɔmo dwumadi ɔmo bɛdi no ɛduru hɔ a ɔmo bɛbɔ ho nkonta na Ghanafoɔ no a mo de tumi no ma ɔmo akyerɛ mo adwen because areas a ne yɛfi sɛ bi ɛbɛboa especially unemployment energy sector ɛnɛ ɔmo sɛ ɛyɛ maintenance work wɔ most of the pipelines gas pipelines but ɛno no yɛnya bi no yɛanyɛ no sɛdeɛ ɛnɛ ɔmo yɛ no wokɔ ka mmerɛ bi duru na ɔmo si yɛ papa na pokɔn so ɔmfa timetable mmra na afei deɛ ɔmo hwɛ no keteɛ no ɛhɔ no yɛabɛduru a yɛ so yɛhwɛ no mu a ɛnɛ nipa bebree nim sɛ Ghana mmea bebree bɛduru anyina ne sum aduru ɛna ɛba anyinam nkanea no so ɔyɛ no ba nim sɛneɛ ɛboa economy no adwumayɛfoɔ bebree na ɔmo dwumadi ɔmo de biara no ɛyɛ electricity ɛne ɛde yɛ sɛ ɔyɛ babani so ɔyɛ tailorni so ɔyɛ seamstress whatever magazine for artisans nyina no na ɔmo didi ɔmo dwuma nti sɛ yɛn nua na kɔ na wɔntumi nsi ni pia yɛ mo ɔmo brɛ ne yɛnhwɛ but ɛyɛ deɛ yɛ sɛ bɛbɛ mu ɛmɛ mu yɛ nyina ayɛ bɛhu but yɛn sua deɛ mfiri nsɛm a nkurɔfoɔ ta ka ɛwɔ amanyɔsɛm especially NDC deɛ ɔmo ba ɔmo tumi pɛ brɛ bi ɛka nsɛm bi ne nneɛma papa aban bi ayɛ no ɔmo sɛ no ma nkurɔfoɔ gyina so ɛtoro aba ma ɔmo 24-hour economy obiara ni hɔ a ɔmo kɔ platform so ɔmo tumi nya 1 point discussion sɛ yɛdeɛ sɛ ne yɛbɛyɛ no wote bi wo fufu anadwo binom pudɔn mu nyinaa bɛne nam mu sɛ yɛbɛyɛ mmoa nom ne adeade a ne nyinaa bɛhwɛ
na wono ɔwan appointment no mo kyɛ ma ama no
na nko bi anke yɛ yi na
Dr. Pudon no
sɛ wɔn kɔ deɛ ne yɛde ne car party no mu sɛ ɔmo di sɛ oni no
ɛnti mo ama na appointment no bi
yɛ mo nya nwie bi anoma pɛ biribi ama no but CEOs ni ade deɛ yɛnte ne nka mu deɛ sɛ ne yɛ na ɔbɔ ho dawure me kora no mfi sɛ the hono kra be man say ye minister of state in charge of economy na was come na ka hu bi na o hen bo no so timi e ko kire na dwen wo hono but more important and seriously o hen ba say enema ye hwemu atu aba na ye hwe ni ye de ye wo ho ye hwe kire din ni ya hwe de papa ba be ka boni ba ye be ka nse na say wo ba bi a o hen ba ya usika fa bi tufie wazeze no bakura ozo bompa yeze wa no mepa no ye mefa wonko zeze u ba nem ne meyiri na me ko bompa ye mami na wa hwa ma no ma fie because zeze u ko kasa culture of silence no yesa didi ba mun kakra ye ti ha na drum le bia no mampani dada that time we o mampani dada na wanya president his excellency the president of Republic of Ghana John Dramani Mahama ko kasa culture of silence and one he na wo kasakra na kasa bia wo beka no one he ya ba bechi wako but yinim say de ama chichire etie no brewum yen ha om kete ze yenche budget ne ba yebehu ne yewum ene ne ma ba obi fiza bia ebema ne bibia ye no enyina so no ho ne be hyase ayede afri nti ye de ye bompa ye ze de ye si konfubɔ ne wasi kurumba o ne ba watimu bi nti ye bompa ye se o man no sebe NDC ne woso nti antetempanzam ne mom ene mom kan ya hodo no ene ye hwɛ so betima ye ne obi a so na ne da so se NDC ba ma ne ma bi o ha o manya ho mfaso ne ade no bebem amadia se de inso ye nsa na wi abɛyɛ ɛbɛyɛ nti ye hwɛ ne mu bosia bɔde sometimes meti na bia opposition na se obi a wo waba mu ka bosia bɔ ho asɛm a ya na meti a na me busa se na o man no ye drum pempenzo a ye ho beso ya kwankura na wo hwɛ sika enya wo man mu ani dwumadi a ye didi ani niema a ye hwɛ ni mu a da bia ye sika nso ye ho akwankuro da ɛno nto na drum re bia na ye nyina ya tie asim se bia obeti ase aba na babosia dodo aba na babosia mekai na NDC wo mu opposition na da bia aba na babosia na aba na babosia meanwhile bosia no so ba obi ani madwuma e ba nti na minse wo mu ba yukra de e bia nka ho de wo nkan ko ho ene wi ase kra so aye no bi esu na ni wo unse sese no e ko ba se o man bia no e pani man ni yi na wo hyehyɛ ne niam a wo ko pa bosia kra ompeso obeye de obema ntina nka Ghana beyond aid agenda na yehwese enema bebre yibitima ye ofie na nka ye ankasa yetima nya bia koton amansan dwa so na yetima nya bia bebo man ho bra no na ye gradual process but ja Ghana for na ya bobesia but me de nam nim se bosia bia ye boy ye bia no somehow no timi eye bibi akwan ahodo a no na do dan kwakufo do wo ye enwuma yetimi fa nipa education sector said ye boy ya mofrɛ mo ba kwanya wo senior high school mo nya bi tertiary institutions ahodo any all the TVET schools wa yehye mu kena wo hwɛ agric sector said ye boa ye kuafo niam kakra o mo de bayi wo mo afu ye boa wo mo niam bebre na ban no ye ya ne nim sɛ ebi a ye koye nim no nkombeto ayeso ne yetimi ahyehye o man ni ye ne so nsem a ye kagu o masum ne ye ba galamse ye bebra we nim we o man no nkrofo yes come the corruption ye twapia the kagu mo aka nsem gu nkrofo so anti ye nyina ye indices ni nyina wo ho na say indicators no ho a ye nim se da chimbia no e bebusa ho asem na yetimi ahweso aye de ato abenti ye nua no wo say it's in the pipeline you heard the timelines better so but
you also said that we use technology to rake in revenue.
Oh, anyone now where there sometimes no na sabi utra nye na ubedrum pempensu bi na wani suade ho amemo ya papa
no but I hear be kakra no who number be no be in such say we were a politician na manfo betu aguso mo bu
o say India de omtimi ene saa o share pupu no moko because nima Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kae kakra o kae enne ye ba ya hu bi ebi no kra covet ya omako ehye mukina utia na je na de na ye papa nanso so
and that tax he received
now the name yakra say afidom say
for those pronouncements those policies he spoke about
was say say we dwane free economy no ho ade nani akire ICT enti wonye economist but uti various interviews ankrofo ye aftermath of their vetting any ndisi nya akonya baya ni nyina ne hinje on the name na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kaso obaya no there's not going to be any means ya obetimi ene akwan ye nam so abefo kwa obetimi kaso obenya the needed revenue obetwa abefo ho ya the efrim and that was another area near Helsinki betimi aboa nanka the informal sector no when we hold the chunk of our economy no ye betimi formalize mtina ye de Ghana card eba ye de digital address eba ye de tin numbers nyina eba no na ni nyina ye gradual process and bedroom ni enya system wa ye betime hu obi akira kwa ne base ye gitwo kura afiri wa o kai de na minim ni shark de be kan ye wo local assembly level ani ye se ye bagige property rate ni ade ade ni nyina no we means ani ye hwese nke bebo na yetime expanded the tax net even kura no hwe areas ya ye de abefu mu a first it was fighting against corruption and na ema avenue 4 see benya more revenue we ECG example so is see ho uko DVLA uko passport officer there was no any other place ya abefo no wura mu a ye nya ho mfaso na say ye nya ho bibi say no no ehye kina enti na ye kwampa na ne nam so enti na wutie ubia even almost all the sectors ubi okọ panel announce ko hwehia committee ni bia no ha wanka abefo ho nyere ensem which is NPP eba na ye hwehye wo man no a it means the strong foundation at the tour but we are really na ye the policies buy no moment man sum ya hye ni ya the hye ni nya na say adwiregu that was why ya ni yesre Ghana for say mumma ye kwan ni ensan trust we say ye ntime achieve the penny 100% but governance is a continuous process and na de bia no uche mu no kwadare mu no na unyansan so bi ba be dey e ba be ka ho ka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nya kwanya bai now even the 72 bulleted points and cover many areas ya even emre wakra sabe nanka wo mususu se mo abejo mo homa mo asomo ma no ye ma me no mo a wo mu ni nkrofo wo mo boa wo mo abre wa bom no wo mo nkokra bom ye papa no no ke betimi nya policy bisa de abake wo mo there were a lot of policies ya nanka but here they are ma wo mo ntie de ye hwese obara ye ni Ghana for na at the end of the day be decide wo ba
problem na wo Ashanti NPP mu nyina na mutu obetima solve problem
Sunday special na
mutu any betima solve problem
oh
now you see people have decided to live hypocritically and now me who chamodene who kokwa supposed to be na interestingly the boys na here who no more share especially case can nominate ade say oso akushia chema Wontumi mutu joint na chema Wontumi abetua kama no nti sese die sese bibia ni ho ne lesha obekọ one chema Wontumi di ho nkomo and post no enya me interest but the zeal and nipa before post na wo mu share na evidence so church this is politics this is how beautiful it is as if say afena BBS nti say kukukuku nyina na mutuo ebetima solve problem no oh
ohene ba
aya twini pa bo so wo krom hanom ye twantro to the paso de wom ni de anim na mutuo nko abetima solve problem no
ana o ma hu ni ntem.
You see, we should not live this way. We should not accept to live a particular life be at a convenient time. Hey. Any who?
Em fan sense sakraye na aba.
And sakraye bai. Because my point is, was it the first time ABA chairman extended a hand to build that unity and answer that create something to say that there is nothing between them?
That be.
Why any several times? But and now you have realized marriage na chairman ibu. What I would call you want to court the support of Wontumi Ntino. It is as if say wabeshia anywhere din komontino, but it is not the first time.
Dina make us yam fan.
Oh yes, I am for furniture my mutu.
That be yam fan sense sakraye na abenti.
Sakraye bai.
They said you're rebuilding.
Because sa de na da ho no. You see, they just make us a
party.
Any be hypocrite no. Sa de na da ho no. Obia ntumi nkan jam say affected the NPP na Ashanti region.
Party no.
And is na mutu keke betuma solve problem na. Ada na atwi ni twan.
mutu onso de baba ko fo ya
o ma hu ntem so o ma hu ni ntem so
zembe ko ebi mpo amro
onye na ma fo anko fe chema mutu
etina ya no kwa na no modoso
on na betwe o Facebook say o ko share chema o ba bi okoto mutu no tu akadema no na o ma di nkomo obusa na lesson aka ho asem fine
onim but asamba ko bi wo ho
assembly
and say the man make say bia na sakra unim say NPP lusu ye no on say Christmas ni mu no ye breaki engineer yi movies yes na chama akwaku apia akotwe on Facebook the whole Ghana TV banner TV station banner adani movie
me say
I say odi
me say NPP election court 2024 you lusu ye no say betumi aye bibia e de akọ 2028 arenia enema be mienu say yifiri mu a enye say ye de nukredie na ye betumi ahwe ni pani ma ka chen say krache be ma
wo ye nye
de wo ye no any de wo pesa wo ye no because we cannot live hypocritically and perceive as a bibia ye okay while things are not okay.
Media dear Abia na
me baba bia wo kika ko ye no
so because na nya Facebook
obia nim say radio station do do na during Christmas they break it
yes
ya to ba wie and ya break it
and no cry
you people ni a wo be people chairman
and then what di Wontumi wo fa say the radio station no adani movie station you movie nko a
wo bra wo NPP ni wo pa regional chairman
that time no onim say Wontumi ma regional chairman biu
no dim
now and kwa pia who say Wontumi ma regional chairman biu
and
you want to try to cosmetically try say omu ya fa bi ani omuntam enti mutu betima convince o de no kwa pia eno ma na chita for this hu okroma no sa
wo di anka
see why we be fa say ehun ya yes ehun ya but this means that there are issues bi o hono mu a amanfo de nya atwum approach and they be try say omo resolve but under
na ebola soja
na bibi wo ho
media nka mo obi kra nye na wo say this station on fell anka support your party me tie yi NPP aba power wo besa wono no ho abrami position
wan anymore obi amu
no that board so ji hu sika
na wo ye nyina emutu na abaje chema Wontumi toma na wo ye sa
mutu keke.
You see, we cannot pretend to overlook some issues.
There be.
Nobody can tell me.
Wow.
Say enyema omoye consistently. Editi achema Wontumi no. Emani nya dimbone obi tine wabra oni nyina so bia. Obi tine because of asema ye ne party phobia kan fa no ho. And at the end of the day, a party no and affected no. What can some cashier? A party now affected. Me unim. It can be us. Everyone say okay. What's so here? BBTI will be affected party no. We have to be honest and just in approaching those issues. Let us not pretend that all is well.
Minim nipa binuma. One man twaba ama NPP. One we jai NPP. One. Minimum be a binuma.
And I'm a can't say, many questions will share penny be. Or catch a say, what deep party no bonnet at the year 2024 no one first camera Ashanti NPP party say I support to no because during the 2022 regional elections no among for Kaya mandatory trimu say who is the cabinet and want to be ready after election we realize say na no cre it in 1 hour farm and what the party no bonnet.
Wow.
These are some of the things. And then hypocritically, you want to pretend say, I fail na Wontumi I extend a hand to you. But then you know, he tried several times. Because at that time he wanted to make him unpopular. He wanted to make him unpopular. And then I told you uncontested Wontino. And then they moved to
fine.
Even so for life, Crano. Minimum branch you are no a police station executive. Oh, Jai, because try a chateau chairman so say, Wakase Tiamensiano. I don't know the die. I want to my party.
You see,
now the letter Robert says, nay, and throw
Obia Mekanjo Obia as a party in TSC a Chamunya view. We would deal with it, we would talk about it, we would discuss it.
To the brim.
Now there was a Ohunu, say or no, I contributed to the woman says, what chapter? And then you're quite, Obia was also carrying home.
Yeah, Mr. Benja,
it's not that I need you today, and so I'm pretending, say all is well.
Yo.
Honorable Brancha making no one patch my dear Tibio until say, Minya Chile, the woman near Massey, and Sana was having a love for the party. Sabran so, and you lose you. And there was uncle for the be brave wa. Bonia Mudi chairman, no affected party Nankasa.
I'm the party, no, but no, they thought a Yobino Mohano.
Some of somebody did chairman Wontumi. No, somebody affected party, no. Party about man and what positions.
Hey, you because why you must sense and truffle. Yeah, that board be a so. It's the party never back. Oh, say, Mutu. And the guy,
Mutu and Abazia Toma.
Metier, I did NPP. Party Nang.
Never go for quite the same Mutu to me, number 100 Ghana.
Well, Mommy Uncle,
the young fans say, Bianca Naba.
You see, it is not about the Mutu, no. My understanding is people will compromise. People will get ready to work together with you for the party's good when they have a peculiar interest. Other than that, be dear to me, see, Emma, Omun Kamuhumbu.
Sure.
Dear Nakwame Jubosi Akwanye. Dear no man can find it.
Pepe Ankuma, one you once again throw Biaho.
May say Christmas number 2 coin. Are you try to say, okay, Yakotua Berry, whatever has happened, young Camoni Neduma. Some people, Omoko Kaoka say they can't trust Wontumi go for intimate.
Yo,
and then they move you, I will trust. Mutu.
Oh, so election in bedroom. Some of these stations there.
And to the issues that we cannot pretend that all is well, all is not well.
No, they'll call Nkama party for Cranny Panka. Wow, party, I'll be patcher my doom. Said the manager that you need that
contract to Facebook, no, about Wontumi multimedia, no. A chair say, petition Guya, on Faho. That be no one say, a bear for TMP, when the head mamma and people name because I want to be station. Somebody's investment. Why you my party? You are ridiculing it. And then a mutual at my convention.
Nadred Bako cries, a Busumi on one bottom. What did she say? She
not done movie. Hey, no more being cold, missing Camu being na wo pen mu na wo de nka ma wa chitafo ni bi kura nka ne nka so wo de omo ye nkwada wow Facebook
yanko
now they tro now the post nya ba ko enya ba ko
it say NPP for be restaurant no mutu no chiche mo nkofo because I know to bit ma awe ni nkofo
menso me pepper mutu e aduane me pepper mutu
obi a share audio be with me adwuma ye mu yi nkofo dia and akoka NDC ni ba ko na nusu a wo tie no
communication director
yeah I don't know how you can get that voice for me yeah the hunko bala no pay you better share the perception on Baumia as a shadow of a Kufuadum. Enunti ama manfo akoto aba anase omde to aba edi etianum. Then we will also look at the party structures, role and visibility. And also so Pabija for no veterans na ekwan ewo mu a you better share and also so na mamenken kai kakra the perception of Baumia as a shadow of a Kufuadum. On whether or not the NPP flag bearer for election 2024, Dr. Mahama Baumia was seen as a shadow of President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and therefore was going to be a mere puppet for President Akufo-Addo. 78% of the respondents answered emphatically yes. They suggest that the posture of the president and his inner circle affected the sensibilities of Ghanaians. On the campaign trails, they observed that it was difficult for the presidential candidate, who was a 7th vice president, the first of such a situation in the history of the NPP, to distance himself from his boss, the president of the republic, and rather the rather difficult economic circumstances that the country found itself in, especially in his capacity as the chairman of the economic management team of the president's cabinet. Many therefore saw Dr. Mahmoud Baumia as a candidate who was likely to govern under the influence of president and his inner circle. December, November to Enayedin Komei, what do you see? Change in prices, goods and services, price of goods and services. And a bit my jumpy bear say, I cost bear say.
I am saying Ghana for me name.
I am asking this because Dr. Anthony Sias, I know a presidential advisor on health. Let me check. I want to check the date. Well, was emphatic. Say Ghana being here be 1.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And they are complete agenda 111
1.4.
1.4. And Papa John Mahama say
1.7.
Penal di bedi mampenino. Sikana jump off 1.4 no to 1.7. And we want to know the reasons why. And I want to believe, say, in the transition team, no, handing over notes, no, Obukoti 1.4 we must say, and Unisika, they want to complete agenda 111 Omube here. In the Adiana Esia, I jump from 1.4 to 1.7 in 6 weeks.
Honorable, maybe problem I what President Mama ebi ni say. The first you know government for me, you know. Okay. Ocean the governance now. Ube say infrastructure projects are you know. Masa now koshe project no. Now she boy ye kukuru di atoso no a. Ubusa say hey Ghana for sikeni. Now the Baba Toto, now the Danko Kufuado, dear you home. Any projects are infrastructure projects are what you
see, and I say 5,000. And oversee say 1,002 say, and I wasn't fully completed. And so see, I know which I told you because 5,000. Nasa,
that the Emmy Yawn say, why you nature no? Say NPP for to me and Chimo Magana Fonso Antiasi.
And also so a factor.
Well, I want to believe said Nana Kwame Benya that Dr. Nziasare international area mame, and then another deputy minister of finance no so Afenyo marking. What is that? Designate back say omunya ne ntema no nso no nkwa na afenyo ama beto no. Afenyo ba asamo aba. Ono so the explanation 24-hour economy na ono ankasa kwa no. I don't know you on that NPP the account factor. The NPP has been tagged as an account party over the years. This is a well thought through propaganda by the NDC to instigate the non-account regions against the NPP. The account tag against the party in the previous election had negatively affected the party, with the party losing in most non-account dominated areas. The election of a non-account presidential candidate after Professor Dubois and John Kufuor, another Danko Kufuor, was a strategic decision by the NPP members to win the party off that tag. However, the subsequent selection of a running mate from the Ashanti region derailed the gains that was achieved by the selection of an non-account as the party's presidential candidate. The whole thing was characterized by a perceived show of authority from the Menshia police in effect, Utumfo. This forced the minority tribes, which had believed the NPP to be national in character, to recoil to their former beliefs. And also, and then the role of the party structures, roles, and visibility. The findings of the study revealed that 92% of the polling station executives did not play their roles as officers of the party as captured under Article 55(3) of the 1992 Constitution and Article 6(1) of the party's Constitution. Undoubtedly, the most important function, polling station executives, were not carried out between 2022 and 2023. Some house-to-house and town hall meetings started only at the latter part of the election year. Of the 30% of the respondents indicated that they knew of the responsibilities of the polling station executive to embark on a program of house-to-house marketing the party's programs and vision. Only 8% of the party respondents stated that they occasionally did the house-to-house campaign. Sina Shak Moba, Transia, Iberemu Pa.
Sadia, we won. May party no lose no. Mufa Cassia no Bisamia, Medebema polling station executives. One man, you won't Juma, as I said, won't yet. Bebrena yet. Makuma couldn't cool no ye. Did we motivate them to do it? I don't see a factor. A Juma there, a Yoma Juma. I was so muye. Oman ye. But a dear man, a quarter chains, and a man a buy. I don't see a factor. And Jebia be a copaka, a coca papa. You see, I am not happy on the attempt by some people to deliberately, consciously create a problem between the former president and the former vice president. I am not comfortable. Ya tuaba ebiani asema na no pani e kamuti ho asemi enema ye ema elusu ye no. Yes, you cannot exclude the president, some of his actions and inactions from the results that you know. But people have consciously attempted to create a problem between the two gentlemen. Try and say, I say, deliberate obi ye bibi. That what him say. 4 days into say Electoral, and one of our party young guys, our brother Juma, on all his life, he resigned as a banker. Wabe ye Juma party is penifua ye dumbe ye biya so mbenya appointment amano yenya 4 days to see Electoral, and we nya appointment. And no cry no obi and the cha letter no and they send in say he's been appointed.
That's way.
Now what some woman say office na didn't call you know. Now office not the whole for 1 year 4 months. 1 year 4 months.
And the
Deputy Administrator of Debt Fund.
Wow.
Deputy Administrator of Debt Fund. Now at the whole 1 year 4 months.
No, Unipay.
4 months.
Unipay.
Now I don't know. Nipone tuwa abeka so waye adwuma
Sir,
na do man na dibre who is to inform the president
Sa hadam pine obi
ano na ya me ka say e ya abro ne atimode bone
Babinasi edu me jitum se mampani dada na nado dan ko akufuado enema bi a oyeye enema bi a wanye e contribute to the electoral results yenyaye but the people around him those who were to update him inform him prompt him of what to do and what not to do how honestly did they do that omuji nukre die aye say adwuma no mamampe ni dada na and I said they were there only to satisfy whims and caprices.
Wonya ne ba ne
let me tell you this
ne nua bi
before Nanado be ma kwakwa appointment no when he saw kwakwa and asked him what is he doing and he said Mr. President menye bibiara the man's reaction you could see that he was surprised he was shocked and then the next week an appointment letter came in
wow
so yes
nipa do say be share president
appointed for e wonye ma bi hu but omu na so mu bua no na bua fo mu bua na nje na djuma yie
no no onim sa hafai da
no it is also clear say ebetima ka say yes ebi o wa ye kwa kan we tie o etintinti kakra eno so ho but the mundudu na no
manka
mo amoa no
anye
mo de yes amasa ehwehwe mo mu nkwa mu yedie
obi kra ba
ya no mo say wo so be pagenti wonye da
enti omo chance yes ade no he we can't go into the next election without the full commitment of the former president. Now we expect we will win.
One dada ni nyina. One former nyina. Are we actually
and until the members are approaching some of these things hypocritically.
Hey.
And as a Muslim, cause respect.
Adabi emwa.
And when me read this idea we say a minimum who say a be a Dr. Baumia will be a shadow of Ronaldo. And because of that perception, you know, yen try and yen say Dr. Baumia fi Ronaldo. But one here and yet Oberteno.
And yet
But as I'm guessing